First thing on the agenda, review and discussion of construction plans. Leader of review and discussion?
Yes.
Didn't know which one was.
Okay, we're gonna kind of do a tag team here, so if I forget something, he gets to chime in. If you all turn your chairs around, maybe, if you please, kind of go through this. Yeah, great. We've got several different ways of presenting this, and we thought we'd do it all. So, we are complete, we think, with the plans for getting bids together. And I'll go through them right quick and show you kind of where we are. And if you have any questions along the way, just please stop and we'll try to answer them at the time.
Our goal is basically to go through the construction plans.
Yeah.
And get your general consensus.
Right.
Go ahead and start pricing them out. Probably starting tomorrow.
If it's okay with you guys.
And hopefully, by the end of the month, have prices, back and maybe the next, the first week or so of next month.
So, excuse me. So what we've got,
Here we go.
yeah. The plan, this section over here represents the entire set of plans for phase one of the Wright Elementary renovation. We've taken some pictures and kind of showing the existing conditions, and we'd like to show you kind of some renderings of what we anticipate it looking like when we get complete. So this represents a code analysis of the team players, a index of sheets, and where it's located. Sheet page SP 1.1 represents a demolition site plan, and basically this represents some of the sidewalks that have been deteriorated. They've got, they've been heaved, they've been settled, they've got cracks, so we've decided to take out a lot of the concrete sidewalk that would be associated with that area that needs to be replaced. And that's really all the exterior demolition that we're looking at doing. And next sheet, SP 1.2, represents.
We need to hand these plans up. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all got a mini set for you. You can write on them, scribble on them. Here you go. You have one.
Thank you.
Do it? Okay. Glad you remember that, Greg. So sheet SP 1.2 represents the putting back of this, basically the same concrete that we've taken out, it just would be brand new. This is a sheet that some renderings of what we anticipate the end of the project to look like for the hallway area and the classrooms. You can see the hallway over here on the screen. Peyton, you can probably thumb through that also with us. You can see the difference of the existing hallways with the transom lights, the tile wainscot, and we're trying to turn it into something unique, something to be proud of. The ceilings will have some different heights, shapes, and colors have changed. New doors, keep the frames to remain, except we'll paint them. Some of the side lights that you see right there will be hidden behind these plastic wainscot panels, which is very easy to maintain. You never have to, you just don't paint them. What else we got, Greg? We've got some new lighting, some accent lighting, some tack strips for our artwork, new doors. The existing hardware, I understand y'all have replaced fairly recently, and we're going to salvage those and put them back on the doors. The classrooms, the typical classrooms you'll see, we've got, you can look this side over here. We've got some new cabinet work that are on the existing exterior wall that which basically looks like this over here. So with all this glass that you see that has let heat in the summer and cold in the winter and sweat, and it's just very uncomfortable. And it's going to go away and we're going to make it so that you have those 4 exterior windows across the top of the cabinets. We'll do away with all this old radiator piping, exchangers, millwork, and replace them with the millwork you see in the photograph for teacher storage and layout.
There will be a sink.
I do have a question. So the windows, that's all the windows that we'll have?
Yes.
Up top?
On top.
That'll be playing natural light, I guess.
It's actually,
It is
Right.
natural light.
some of the internal, if you add in those, we do that courtyard, we won't have any windows in some of those rooms.
The 2 black portions represents the corkboard, and the white represents white marker boards, magnetic. New flooring. The instructional wall represents 3 white magnetic marker boards, and this one will be the smart boards also. The cabinet work on this side, this door right here represents the door into the classroom, and next to it we'll have some cubbies for 22 students and a teacher cubby for her personal items. Up above we'll be having some open shelves for storage. New ceilings.
You know, on the cubbies, basically, they spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out
Yeah.
the millwork in each classroom.
Yes. And y'all decided you like shelves up there instead of places to put tubs?
And
We're good with that? Okay, I'm just,
The shelves will be adjustable, is my understanding.
That's right.
So
Okay.
depending on what the teachers need,
So
that
it
would
can-
give them some options.
okay.
Also,
Organizational queen here, making sure y'all get the organizational stuff you want. Okay,
in each locker, basically, will be a hook
that's
or
cool.
2 hooks.
further
Two
put a
hooks, yeah.
code on one side
Right.
and put their backpack on the other.
And they won't be in the hallway.
And then they'll have, each child have their own little,
Little cubby in between, you can
their
kind of see
little,
them.
That's nice.
little,
Mailbox.
yeah, mailbox.
I like
Yeah.
that.
And above that's gonna be the adjustable shelves for storage.
Right.
So the, sorry to nitpick, the pretty ceiling, the red ceiling, what's the cost
Here.
addition of that from being more just a flat? I mean, you gotta spend the money everywhere.
Well, we're covering up some, we're covering up,
Because you're lifting it.
yes,
Okay.
these transom lights, and you can cover them up with just small metal studs, or which is what we're throwing out with the 3 5/8" steel studs, and sheet. Am I in your way? I'm
And-
sorry.
and-
I am in your way.
And Mrs. Trigos,
Um,
that's actually
as
gonna
far
be,
away as I want.
that's okay, that's actually gonna be paint.
Okay.
So it's not a material, that's gonna be, I'm right on that, aren't I, guys? That's gonna be paint, so
Yes.
we can choose colors, we can change colors.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I was just, after that was one of the
Yeah,
questions they had at West
that's just gonna
Plains.
be
They were like,
wallboard and,
perfect.
Yep.
It's interesting, just
Wallboard and
making
paint.
sure they weren't,
We're trying to take that long, narrow hallway out of there and break it up with some of these,
it's very pretty. I
Thank
wasn't
you.
saying it wasn't pretty.
But, this is a pretty economical way to get a lot of, a lot of
It adds some,
aesthetics.
punch
Interest.
to the hallway.
Yeah.
But like the panels on the wall, you don't have to throw out your wall or anything to
Right.
put those on, so that's not terribly expensive to do that. But also, when you get up to your doors, your door frame, you don't have a big fur out when you get there.
Yeah.
You're only, maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch on the wall, so it doesn't create a big space to go back into the door. But then when you get up above it, basically, that's gonna be metal studs and drywall, and that's not real expensive material material to build those fur downs and make it.
And those fur downs also act as an insulator for sound and from the classroom to hall. Actually, the original design was it didn't have air conditioning. So you would open up the windows on one side, over here.
That's why those doors and windows
And
were
let it
there.
go through the transom,
Yep.
through the hallway,
Yep.
onto the other side,
Yep.
you know, kind of pass through. So now we have air conditioning, we can kind of help with that. And they'll be insulated for sound baths.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are some Lycos, but we want to do some indirect light
Right.
going there too. And we're actually doing the fixture very economically. So, and we figured out how to get it with about $100 per fixture on the lights. And,
Wow.
instead of $1,000 per light.
Yeah. Don't tell Blake that if you run into my husband. Okay.
And if Alan needs to change out the light fixture,
Yeah.
it'll cost $1,000 to change it.
Fantastic.
Steve, do those doors open in or out?
I'm sorry?
Classroom doors? open?
Yeah, they swing out.
They swing, they do swing out, okay.
Next. Good. This sheet represents some abbreviations, some general notes, and some legends that will act throughout the set of plans for reference. This sheet represents the demolition plan. You can see each note is described over here on the left right-hand column. If you want to go through it, we can, or I can, it's a detailed. Basically, the previous sheet that had all the 3D perspectives on it is what we're doing for that project. The rest of the other pages are the details to get to that point. So that's why we're looking through. This also represents the phasing of each individual portion of the construction that Greg has in mind for scheduling the work so that they can remain in the building while they're construction.
When we price it out, we're gonna be looking for prices for each area, so as we do the work, it gets billed accordingly to each area, and we'll really keep track of that really well. But basically, the east side is G, and we move into H, and then I, and this is E. So, and we're planning to start on the east end.
This heavy grade in area represents some new concrete, try to create a moat strip around the old gymnasium, but that's only concrete in there.
What kind of flooring are we doing?
Wherever we're replacing the floor, we're either gonna put a VC tile or in a carpet square.
Everything else is gonna have VCT.
What's the expected lifespan of the vinyl?
VCT,
35 years, 40.
you literally have to you can wear it through.
It's the colors through and through.
Okay, thank you.
It's the same thing we did for junior high.
Okay.
So, and the reason, they have all the equipment to.
Okay, thank you.
So this right up here, like these right here, is where we're taking out some of the concrete to replace it with new toilets. And you'll see on the next floor plan the renovations of bathrooms. This represents the new floor plan for Wright Elementary. The classrooms are currently constructed of 3-inch solid plaster. So the sound transmission in there doesn't allow, it doesn't, it allows for too much sound to transfer from one classroom to the other. And so what we're doing is we're going to furring out both sides of the wall and adding in sound bats in between the studs all the way from the floor up to the roof deck. And the walls won't go up that high. The walls will go up to 9 feet or so to the ceiling. But up above there, we are going to insulate the space so that you won't have that sound transfer. Similarly, we have this right here, this hallway wall will be insulated too. The new windows, we're furring out certain sections of the windows that are there now. The these windows here, and just allowing enough of natural light to come into the classroom. We're getting a teacher restroom down on this end, and 2 teacher restrooms down on this end. And then we're having remodeled children's bathrooms. We're creating a teacher workroom down here and here, right here. Right here. This whole thing is teacher workroom in there, right now. We've also, this teacher lounge and workroom, we've designed it so that it eventually can be a classroom in the future if needed. Dyslexia up here, wanted some special rooms for teaching. Right now, we've got some IT circuit boards in here that we're gonna, may or may not be able to extend, make this a bigger classroom, but for right now, until we know exactly what we got in there, we're going to try to keep it as it is, and then we'll see what we can do about moving that, making this a bigger sub-classroom for dyslexia. I tried to keep some of the cabinet work and a lot of the details out of there because, on this sheet, because it's got so cluttered. And so I added another floor plan sheet, Greg's gonna turn it here, to show the cabinets. The yellow represents the cabinet work, new cabinets. The legend here represents the room finish schedule and the materials we're gonna use for each room in the room finish schedule. The windows that we're putting in along the exterior walls. We are redoing some of these doors down here. Instead of being a double door here at the music room, we're gonna make it a single door and make it match this other door here. We're trying to get ready for phase 3 to do the exterior portion of this east wall. And you'll see what we've got planned for that, but we're not gonna construct it. We're just gonna put some of the dense board sheathing on there until it's the time to do the exterior in phase 3.
There's a lot of millwork.
We try to schedule so that it's modular. We can do a lot of millwork all at one time, and even before the walls are put up, and then just put them in place and
Did we find a
it'll be done.
storage
You know, store 'em.
spot?
I found one, but we might have another one we're looking at this week.
Okay, so you found a place for the mill, you're, good, in progress.
This sheet, the next sheet represents a reflected ceiling plan. It shows where all the diffusers for the HVAC system is, the light fixtures, anything that's ceiling mounted. The shaded areas right here, this, and this are vinyl covered gypsum board 2x2 panels for wet areas, so that any humidity that would be getting in there won't deteriorate the ceiling tile. Well, most of the ceiling tile, it's going to be, well, all of it, it's going to be just like you've got in this room right here. Not all the rooms are going to have new grid, is that right? Greg has surveyed we've surveyed the certain rooms that the grid didn't need to come out, and so we're just going to replace the tile.
Yeah, it's basically, I think, these 2 rooms down here, and there's a few rooms down here. So keep that.
Okay, this represents the next sheet, the proposed furniture plan. This is my idea. I just want to make sure that 22 kids can get in the classroom, that each classroom that needed to have. These areas over here are kind of small classrooms, and you can kind of see the population of the students that could be in there. Dyslexia, kind of a special place. These 2 classrooms down here that were built later on were kind of small. But that handle. Each classroom is going to have a sink in it, except for these interior ones that didn't have a sink in the first place. I think we're adding a sink in this room, aren't we, Greg? Actually adding one there, so.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Where are you gonna put, you took the janitorial room out of that wing, right?
Yeah, janitor's right here.
Yeah, but
we, what was it we did there? This right here,
They took the copy room, not the janitor.
it's actually a little bigger, Alan. This is a janitor's, janitor's closet.
They took the one out of the,
The third grade.
It's over there by where the network room is. Has a hot water heater in there and a sink fan, and now you can have the rest of it for chemical storage or whatever you want to put
well,
there.
I'm just saying, it's gonna have to accommodate 2 custodians. 'Cause up here, the custodian works in front of the building, and the custodian in the third grade hall for that hallway.
Uh-huh. Down in here,
If they don't have room for carts, stuff like that, it makes it tough cramming 2 people's stuff in one little closet.
right,
They end up in this teacher's lounge, like kindergarten.
Because honestly, they're already cramped.
actually, all we did was replace this janitor's closet that used to be right here to this one.
Sounds like we though, we might need more room.
Just, it depends on how big that's gonna be.
You have 2 over there now, Alan?
Well, there's one at third grade hall, there's one in the front hall that.
We haven't even touched phase.
Yeah.
Library that they made a janitor's closet for the big room, and then we got one in first grade hall. They use the old boiler room in second grade hall for that janitor's closet.
We might could, in that phase 3 part where we haven't done the administrator office area,
Right.
wondering if we could make a janitor's closet to replace one in that center hall.
Possible, I just wanna make sure that them people don't get left out.
Yeah.
We still have,
Yeah.
I think what we had in mind is possibly taking in part of this courtyard area, that when we go to that phase 3 portion and create a, wherever we need to put a janitor's closet, we've got plenty of area there to
Yeah. Because,
accommodate something.
because that's where that staff bathroom came out of, was that janitor's closet, correct? No?
No, they used-
police bathroom in the third grade hall. where
Okay.
the police- They expanded it a little and took up that janitor's closet in third grade.
Okay.
Took that, basically took that doorway and made it zigzag.
This is green right here.
Okay,
This area right in here.
Yeah, right
Staff
there.
bathroom took up the copy room.
Yes.
okay,
And then the staff
That's the copy
bathroom
room.
took up the copy room.
okay,
But then that area should be bigger because that's part of janitor's closet
okay.
and part of a workroom, copy room.
I was flipping back and forth
Yeah,
trying to figure out what
working
was there.
So you only have one door going in there, is that right? Am I seeing that right? So in order to get to the
Yes.
network room, you're gonna go through a janitor's closet?
All the network is on that one, on this wall right here. That's why we haven't moved it at all. And so that's why we kept that wall there, but yes.
So they're gonna be stepping over carts, right, Alan?
Well, let's just keep in mind that phase 2 and phase 3 have not been completed yet. And we'll get there. 'Cause this is, obviously, this is a priority, and we'll make it our priority too. Okay, next. This is representing the exterior that we know, the top sheet on the north elevation is going to be completed, as will the, what, the east?
This is north.
Yeah, this is the north and this is the west. The west will be complete. The east side, however, is conceptual at its point. This is kind of our proposed idea. These are not windows. They are accent panels. We want them to look like windows, and basically we're looking at maybe just some aluminum things. Originally, I wanted them to be windows, but it really didn't serve a purpose because the ceilings are gonna be too low for them to be usable. But this will be new stucco in its time, and what we're gonna be doing at right now is just, like I said, to put sheathing on there right now, some chip sheathing. But in the future, you can kind of see this is the existing elevation as it sits right now. The office area, which is all this glass over here, will be eliminated and brought forward however much we need to accommodate janitor's closets and all the things that it goes to the new office area.
And raised.
Well, then we talked about, like in that entrance, making it bigger with taking out part of that stage.
Yes, yes. The entrance right now, you can see right here is the existing entrance. As you follow it up, this is where it used to be, but we're making a new entrance. And if Greg will go back to the floor plan, you can see we've taken out some of the music area to create a new entrance for the
stage area.
yeah, where the stage is now, right.
And that'll be,
That storage,
you
whatever.
know, right here, we're gonna have storage, there'll be storage here for the music, but there's gonna be storage here. And honestly, we're thinking, because all the existing lights that are new, we're gonna take those out and save them. And we're hoping we can actually maybe store them in there as we're taking them out, and then we're gonna reuse them in
Stockpile.
so kind of use some of this area for storage during construction, but then when we get to phase 3, it'll actually
Turn into a hallway.
coming right in here, create a new entry.
Yeah, and then they, talked about parents waiting in the music room to come to things or vice versa.
We do have a start of a office plan that Mr. Brown has seen. It's not complete, it's very, very schematic, but when we start getting into the design of phase 2, we will refine that. Okay. This sheet A 7.1 represents the door schedule and the new doors that will be included and the hardware that they would be required to put on them. And certain notes, these are the elevations of it. So we went round and round a little bit about the side light the narrow light that actually goes in those doors. You know, what is normal, what is, secure, for the bad guys not to stick their hand in there and,
3 inches.
whatever. So we have matched, we have
We
some,
ended up going with 3 inches, but I think we're 34.
right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put laminated glass in it, not something that's just gonna break out.
This is the window schedule, and this up here is the room finish schedule that goes along with that cabinet floor plan sheet that you can tell which, that might be kind of small print in your little plan there, but it's there.
I can read it.
Good. This represents the typical classroom and the floor plan for it, enlarged. Furniture that goes in there, the cabinet, the new cabinet. This is considered the instructional wall. This is considered the auxiliary instructional wall. This would be where your smart board, your white marker board, your magnetic white marker board would be. This is your storage for a cabinet storage with the 2 end ones being 7 foot tall, and then this be your cubbies. And this section, this floor plan of the cubbies represents this elevation of the cubbies, which you've seen in the 3D perspective pretty good. This is the dyslexia cabinets. You want a little something special, so we accommodated for that.
And you have the restrooms.
Yeah, the teacher restrooms, elevations.
There's no electrical, these are just elevations for the
Right.
cabinetry.
Joseph will, if you really want to know where the electrical is.
I do.
He'll explain that.
Cool, I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Some more millwork, the different classrooms, some elevations of the enlarged, this is the enlarged boys and girls bathroom, and their associated elevations of the toilet stalls and cabinet. The sinks are going to be lavatory type with solid surface tops. Sheet A 12.1 represents interior wall sections. The hallway will take on this shape that has a gambrel ceiling, if you will. You can see the fur out is a 3 5/8 steel stud. This shaded area right here represents the light cove that it shows and has some indirect lighting. You can see that we're right up against the bottom of the joist at this location. But we do have some areas here that Joseph, I think, is using for some ductwork and some raceway for the cabling, the internet. This is your light code detail and how we're referring in over the around the transom lines.
There's a $100 light fixture we're talking about.
Yeah. You can hide a lot in that little space right there.
Especially with LEDs.
Yeah.
That helps.
Good. This details is about the only one. This one is the wall between the two classrooms, and it's showing how we're referring out on both sides of it, the 2.5-inch steel studs and sound bats that go up to the roof deck. This represents some exterior sections on how we are handling the cabinet work up against the existing windows and the ones that we're saving for light. This would be, yeah, this is the detail that we're highlighted, this same area here.
Yeah, for the extra windows.
The next sheet is basically your handicap accessibility details, and start with the requirements. The mainly thing on here is what the required heights of the different fixtures for elementary school kids. They are different than regular people. They're just hat size. And that's it for the architectural side of the plans. Any questions?
Can you go over what you're gonna do with the windows, those outside ones? Are you going to take the glass out
Sure.
totally?
Okay, go to,
I'm sorry.
Well, I can,
go ahead.
on the
Go to
extra,
the sheet, the existing elevations there.
Yeah, please.
I think that would help. One more,
is it,
yeah.
Couple more.
Four,
Start
one
at the
more.
back.
There you go. Go ahead.
right along here?
Yeah.
Well, on the windows and the frames, a lot of those panels in there are asbestos. And so we're going to fur that out and cover that, before we actually remove the asbestos. They're gonna remove the asbestos from the inside after they do the, they're basically gonna make it a container. So they're gonna take that out. And so, those panels and glass will be, I think that some of the caulking around some of the windows also asbestos, so we're removing those. So then after those are out, we will have the outside framed, and that will be in between the structures, because basically those windows really are the structure,
Right.
those exterior walls.
Yeah.
They have big aluminum,
Vertical
tubes.
members, yeah.
Yeah, verticals going down, and we're gonna be reusing that for the structure and furring all that out. And those are basically on 4-foot centers, and in between those 4 foot, we're gonna be putting 3'8" windows. I think they're about 18.
Yeah,
I
at the
think about
top.
18 inches tall in between. So the outside will be framed to fit the window, and then the inside will also be framed to fit the window.
Mhm.
Both sides are gonna be insulated, and then that's where that
Yeah.
finger will be made from. But what I think, what I like about it is when we go in there and, we're not gonna have to go in there and do
Tear out
something
the whole-
twice. That we've talked to the asbestos removal guys, basically we're gonna be able to cover that outside before they go in and start stuff under the wall.
Is that something you can do while the students are in school safely? Or is that something we have to do in the
can
summer?
We can cover the outside,
Yeah.
but as far as the removal,
The
what they
removal.
do, they do a containment. I mean, those guys are just amazing when they build plastic wall and they tape it up. And then they put vacuum, they put fans in there that put negative air in that whole area where air's always being sucked to it, it's never blowing it away. And they have, I can't remember the right term for the filters, they
Heat gun.
yeah, for those filter everything. And then once they'll take the chalkboards, I think the glue behind the chalkboards, you gotta take the chalkboards off, remove that glue, and take the panels off the exterior windows, put them on the inside, and then they have to take the floor up and remove it. And then actually put, they take the flooring up, and then they bring in 55-gallon drums of solvent, and they put that on the floor, and they scrub the floor, and they take all that back and put it back in the 55-gallon thing, and then they take it all out, and they put it in containers that are sealed.
Then
Every-
it's
every-
toxic
and-
waste.
And they do it, and these guys are in those white suits, and they have a shower that they have to go in and out of while they're doing it. So in the whole time they're monitoring, there is a
Air levels.
third party that monitors the air on the outside and inside of the area. And once they get through with that, they have to get a certain clearance on the air quality inside before we can even, start taking that down and letting that go there.
How long do you think it takes, Hawkins?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh, for one area, I suspect, I think the time they came in, on the first area, probably a week.
Wow.
To
Strip it and clean it.
do their thing, get everything.
Are they hard to book?
But you know what,
or
all the
schedule?
asbestos goes? It goes to the landfill in Canyon. That's where they take it all.
Classy.
In a certain little section of the dam, they mark it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Really? Lovely. And can you schedule these people pretty easily when we're ready to go?
Well,
They
that's
won't
was
forget.
one of my questions, because, one thing we've been doing, we've been getting ready to order the millwork, and I want the millwork here at least for the first area before we start. I want it sitting there, where we don't have to wait. And the millwork, the flooring, we're getting ready to try to, to order the millwork, the flooring, all the doors and hardware.
Some of this has got long lead times.
Yes.
So anything we're concerned with in lead times, we'll probably be trying to order that in the next week or so. And one thing is, like, my question was, 'cause in the past, sometimes, when it came to asbestos guys, it came to summer, it's like, it's hard to find them because they're all busy.
They're all working.
But we just actually, visited with them, a few weeks ago, and they basically said they aren't busy. They said they should be able to show up, if we start in July, they should be able to show up.
Okay.
No problem. They said they thought they would have four different companies giving us prices for them. So it should be competitive.
Thank you.
And I think the guy who did some of the asbestos here is Manuel, I think, and I think he's gonna get some price. And I'd be surprised if he wouldn't.
There should be a whole lot of abatement on the floors.
Yeah, well, that's true here. Well,
Some down that hallway over
yeah,
here.
that's true. Yeah, I think sometimes I start talking about, I start thinking about the high school. So, yeah, but they've come in and they've taken samples of everything. We've actually have a plan of what has to be done. A lot of the pipes above the ceiling, it's the joints that have some insulation around it that have little asbestos on
good
them.
grief.
So it's not all the insulation, it's just at the joints, and they'll come and remove that.
You're not even using that pipe up there, right?
Yeah, we don't take-
You just take all, cut it out, put it in the bag, and
Well,
What do you think?
Some of the pipe we're still using. So, okay.
you got it. Green button now.
Oh, are you driving or is Peyton driving?
Yeah, hello, it's good to see everybody again. Joseph Huseman, leading a bunch of the engineering effort here, and there's a lot of work to show off, and there's a lot of people that have put a lot of hours into this that aren't here. I think Isaac has done a lot, R2, Clint, my team, and then a lot of HB guys. Peyton's been looking around a lot. Dan Summers has been snaking plumbing lines and tracking electrical lines underground and trying to see as much stuff as we can, as well as have a lot of input from Kendra Lacey and Jody here, which has been really nice. And as well as y'all's maintenance team has been fantastic. We're really lucky to have had as many existing plans as y'all have kept up with, and so that's something we don't always get, as well as Alan, Jeff, and the then as well as, Brittany, and I know I'm missing somebody that helped a lot with the ESSER stuff, a couple years ago, where
Kelly Vernon.
Kelly.
Kelly Vernon.
Okay. Yeah, she got over $2 million, I think, right, of grant money to do a lot of HVAC work that has already been done for this building. So it's good to be able to spend $2 million on something not your rooftop units. And then, yeah, and then I'm about to jump into the details. Feel free to stop me. Feel free to tell me to go faster. We've spent a lot of time on this, so I can get into it if you want to. And then before getting into it, really, we have three targets that we try to keep in mind when we're doing everything. If it's good, keep it. If it's bad, make it better. And a lot of times that doesn't mean replace it. And then also, we love boring construction. I want this to be as boring as possible. That's the goal. I know I look exciting, but I'm really not.
In your journey.
And then, and so, when things get brought up, or you think of something 2 minutes in your car on your way home, write it down, hit one of us up, and we'll get to that first. And try to make this as boring as possible. And then, going into kind of the plans, generally, on our stuff, when you see color, that means we're doing something. And the gray, you'll see some gray pipes in there. I think I just killed your clicker. Yeah, your battery just died.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so I guess if you see Peyton's mouse over there. When you see something red, that's electrical. Orange is usually stuff we're taking out. Green is sewer. If it's gray, we're looking to keep it. And blue usually means water, unless it's mechanical. And then there's a lot of gas. When we're looking at replacing things, we're generally looking at stuff that's over 50 years old, that's below ground. And so when we're replacing it, we're moving it up above the ceilings or above the roof. So if you need to fix it again later, it's easier. Again, can't do it everywhere. You don't want visible gas pipe from your meter to your building. So stay underground. And then probably just jumping into the next page. We'll probably skip a couple of these working pages and do this for you. Yeah, Peyton's got a good page there. That's a plumbing demo. On the orange area, it looks like we're changing out everything, but the gray line, which Peyton can probably on that east side move up and down his mouse, that's the larger sewer trunk that y'all were a part of and kind of bored, tunneled under the building to replace it. That's something we're looking to keep. And then there was some nastier pipe on the west side that we're looking to change out.
Yeah, we cambered that whole thing.
Cambered as much as they could.
And some of it down here we cambered, and it needs to be replaced.
Dan Summers does a phenomenal job of looking at stuff. A lot of the orange pipe you see up there is we call it hydronic pipe work, weather pipe work, and which y'all don't need anymore. And then y'all have some water lines on the left side of your page at the bottom on the west side going through your exterior wall, which likes to freeze. So we're taking that out and putting it above the ceiling. And then as well as some gas lines that were under the ground, we're looking to get a path on the roof so that things are easier to fix and it freaks less people out. Yep. Mechanical, not a lot to say. We replaced most of this 2 or 3 years ago. There's gonna be a lot of tweaks, but and then y'all had a bunch of underground ductwork that's going to those exterior walls, kind of in your cabinets and millwork that we're gonna have to kind of cover up so we can put something on top of it. And next page. The electrical, already replaced. The east and west side, they still have T8s, so we're looking to get new fixtures for it, and then the other, hoping to keep and reuse.
What kind of capacity increase you gonna give it in electrical outlets?
That is a big question. You can't, I've got a review coming. Yeah.
Drum roll.
Mhm. I guess, do we wanna skip that page just to say that and come back? Yeah.
If you like, go on.
Yeah, do it, jump to what everybody wants to hear so we can get the exciting stuff out of the way.
Jump over this, this is your line.
Yeah, we'll come back. I can't take all of my talking away. So this is a new classroom kind of layout on the electrical side. It's, I think what y'all had was one outlet on the long wall on each side.
Some on the south wall. Under the windows.
Under the windows, or three outlets? Under
Three,
five outlets?
three max, I would say.
3 outlets per classroom, and every little blue thing you see on that page is an outlet. So we're going from 3 outlets to over 10 per classroom.
That's fantastic.
That doesn't mean you should go crazy with it.
Plug everything in all at once and turn it on.
Please not a bunch of space heaters and things like that. No microwaves.
Yes.
One in every room.
Mini fridge.
Mini
Yeah,
fridge and
mini fridge.
microwave in every
Hair
room.
dryer,
Yeah, hair dryer. Yeah, make sure it's all on one.
hot plate, yeah, that's.
Little deep space heaters.
Good people know this too.
But basically, in a classroom,
That's good thinking.
you know, by the teacher's desk,
Air fryer.
there's gonna be a quad,
Got a quad.
and then a data outlet, which is gonna bring in the data to the classroom.
Go to the right page.
So you wanna go to the typical
Oh, yeah, I
classroom?
got the top one. Okay, now keep talking.
So,
Oh, you want me to, okay. Yeah, so
let me point to the
each
dudes.
kind of square
Right
you
here.
see on that is kind of like a low voltage conduit stub, so the low voltage contractor can come in here and do a lot of his work easier. And then we got an HDMI cable that's gonna be put in from
From
the primary teacher
here
location,
to here.
to the left side, the long way, that way if they
Oh, yeah, we're doing
change
it
their
wrong,
mind,
yeah, that's right.
it'd be easy to move anywhere else.
So there's gonna be up high on the wall and low on the wall, there's gonna be a plug, you know, for the whiteboard or maybe a monitor in the future. And then also then there's gonna be the data's gonna come in here, and then the USB cable and the HDMI cable is gonna go to here. And then we're gonna have, on this side, we're gonna have the conduit to do it there. Also, if the teacher desk, you know, if they wanna change that, we're gonna make it, they have a conduit in there too, move it there too, if we can, you know, we'll make it where it can happen, but we're not gonna double or upon like HDMI and USB cables, we're gonna make it, you know, make it.
So your design is for what we currently need or would like to have
Yes,
in the range, is that what I'm hearing?
but it'll be.
Cause I mean, it would be, I think, worthwhile if you weren't, if we were aiming at the future a little bit, where you can add capacity, and we don't know what's gonna come HDMI's it, but how many outlets do you need? Well, that's what you were saying, you're gonna have an extra conduit to
We're gonna have
bring
extra
in that for
conduits
later.
where you can move things around. And we talked to, you know, our technology guy and, you know, about what to do. Because, you know, if you start trying to put in multiple locations for USB and HDMI and things like that, it just kind of really starts to get kind of out of hand because you have to have so many connections at the point of entry or where the data comes into the classroom.
We have so much wire in our house that was built that long ago, and now it's all obsolete because everything's wireless.
No,
The
that's my
television
point.
and
I think
everything.
that's my point, is just allow your ability to expand it as you need it, if we can put that in the design.
Basically.
The giant tube to run
Yes.
things through for my electrician brother-in-law.
Basically,
Yep.
that's what we're trying to do.
Giant tube.
I have a tube.
We got 5 or 6 giant tubes in there, so you have more
Hooray.
tubes than you have outlets.
So we're just trying to make it
Future
where
capacity.
where you change things.
Whatever.
If you have a teacher that really wants to change something, to be able to accommodate.
Cool.
And so we talked about it a lot, we went through a bunch of different scenarios, and this was kind of how we split the difference to maximize.
It's just hard to know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got stuff so that you can fish it down the wall without, because we had that insulation in there.
Cool.
Yep.
I love your outlets. It's fantastic.
Yeah, now we can jump back to, we're on plumbing. P1.10. Yep, and this is kind of the new pipes, so the big 3-inch copper pipe, the most expensive. They cut it off, put a new ball valve in it, and the pipe actually looked really good. It was surprising a little bit.
Our concern was that there'd be a lot of buildup in the existing, there's a 3-inch pipe, and it comes in over here, and then it feeds down each hallway, you know, and our concern was that it would have a lot of buildup in it. And we actually cut that pipe in half, and it was clean and whistle.
Yeah,
So, you know, that's gonna save a lot of money, we're gonna keep that pipe, and I'll let you take it from there.
and then we're keeping that pipe, and then we're kind of extending west of that restroom, that new restroom, to replace that pipe in that exterior wall. Kind of extend it a little bit.
But everywhere you teed off of the existing pipe, you know, we're putting valves,
Yep.
and then we're putting new piping from there to the new pipe.
Maybe could you zoom in on a couple valves just to make Alan happy?
Come on up here, Alan.
Yeah, on the right side, keep going. Yeah, so we got a valve on each one of those cutoffs, and we got two big valves there.
But basically, you can isolate areas to work with stuff without shutting the whole.
Building down.
Whole building.
Yeah.
So we need some time.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Alan.
And then, this is the mechanical, not many changes on those newer sides that worked on the east and west. On the center on that kind of south side and on the west side, since y'all are, moving from a bunch of those windows that are really close to those asbestos panels, we've got some extra capacity to put in the hallway. And then where we had a habit of taking out boiler coils, mainly entrances, we put in these ones.
Doing 10 of those,
10 of those, yep.
mainly hallway stuff?
Entrances and places like the restroom, where you typically had heat, but you didn't have cooling. And the hallways we're generally covering with that extra capacity.
And we're taking out all those concentric units in the classrooms and putting ductwork out and putting it in the diffusers.
Yeah, there weren't many in this phase, most of it you already. But that'll be phase 2, we'll have a lot.
Required. This is the electrical we're talking
Yeah, and
about.
then there's those 2 green rooms where the old boilers work. There's quite a bit of electrical work in those areas. And then, mainly things, it's just outlets. As well as there's some conduit that's been underground for 50 years. That Alan's been having a lot of fun with, so we're, love to.
And we were talking to the, you know, because the boilers have asbestos in them, but they're not huge boilers. So we talked to the asbestos, as long as we can get those outside, they can come pick them up and haul them. But we don't have to cut them in pieces and it's no economics, we just get it out the door, let them come get it, and put it in a container, so
The shoehorn crew.
Sure, yes, but we'll see, it might take a crane, but.
Crane probably still be cheaper than asbestos abatement, those boiler rooms.
Yeah, so, but that's the idea. Okay,
Turns out nobody could hear me, so. Don't start over? Oh, man. Here's a bunch of panel schedules. So this is what your electrician sends to the supply house so they can get parts coming as breakers, panels, and a bunch of stuff like that, which I can go line by line if people want. Yeah.
Why close enough to bedtime for that?
I didn't mean it, dude. Yeah. Go to the next, oh, yeah, Peyton, you can go to the next page. I'm looking at the big stuff. Color means we're doing something. And it's, blue is new, black is we're keeping, orange is going away. Purple, what is the purple or magenta? Whatever it is.
Demo and replace.
Demo and replace. So you'll have a bunch of what we call Frank Adams panels. They're not as bad as Federal Pacific Electric panels. You'll have some of those too, but that's more at the high school. So it's companies that went out of business decades ago, and Frank Adams is the better of the two. So it's not as bad, but we're replacing them. They're antiques, yeah. If y'all keep the,
Vintage.
somebody somewhere wants what you got because, yeah, they don't make it anymore.
Put those on eBay.
Maybe. Yeah, here's the lighting. Reusing a bunch of the lighting that you got. And on the coves, we got those cost-effective indirect lights that you can't see, so that they're replaceable.
I think they're just about enough, or just about the right amount of lights to take out the hallways. We're putting new lights in the hallways. And use those, there's about enough to actually replace all those lights down here.
Right, you'll still have the old T8s.
So as we take those, as we do the hallway, we'll be moving those lights down to that. And we'll leave probably some of the existing ones there. And then as we get to these, we'll replace them, about classrooms at a time. As we move on.
And we did find a way to put the lights switches for the hallways in one place. So that
They'll turn off for whatever reason here, right?
They-
Automatic.
they should. There's a lot of people who got to do a lot of work, but they should.
But basically, during testing, y'all like to shut the lights off or dim them a lot in the hallways. And y'all are putting a switch, in certain locations.
In the
to make that happen.
electrical room, they're all in one place, and we're hoping to move those at a later phase to a better spot.
And all the existing lights that have been put in, you actually have found the controls where those will work with the controls for dimming at 50%.
It was 0 to 10 volt dimming, and I think it was 10 to 100%.
So
Could have been 1 to 10.
So when you go into a classroom, will they be dimmer and you have to turn them up? Or are you gonna turn them down?
The lights we are supplying have a lot of different settings, and, I think, because it's competitively bid, so sometimes people submit different things. But what I think they'll likely use, you can change it from occupancy mode to normal light switch mode.
You're talking about the light switch, we bought one.
We brought one, and you can pass it around. So that's likely what's gonna be put in, and you can change it from vacancy, which means
But all the lights.
manual on, auto off.
But all the lights in the classroom are gonna be dimmed.
They should be dimmable. And it's got a paddle on the right that's dims, and then it's got some setting switches where, and if you really hate it, a normal light switch will go in its spot.
That is
That.
not very common in today's world.
No, yeah.
So, I think Joseph has found a very good solution to what people want and what we can do.
Takes a lot of,
I don't know how many times we go when we finish and people, they want just a regular light switch. And,
And all the lighting suppliers really want to give you the fanciest
Fancy
lighting
light.
controller you can find.
Yeah. So you go in a hotel room, like, I need a manual to run the light. I don't, no.
And it's only gonna get worse, I'm sorry to say, with conservation codes.
Hooray.
Mhm.
I'm the government, I'm here to help.
Yeah, yep, I'm everybody's friend. So. And this,
That
this
country
is
song,
more
everything
for
else song.
construction people. It kind of puts a bunch of that engineering stuff in one place. So it'll show plumbing, electrical, some mechanical. So this, we're getting to where it'll just re-say what I've already said. To where you can see where grills and lights all end up. Mhm. Yeah, and that's, oh, and then here's, those last two pages are point clouds, so we've got young guys on the team that really like to do cool stuff, and so we have a scanner that they brought down here, and it's, imagine a laser tape, but it does it millions of times, and so we have a virtual model of the space, and it really helps a lot of stuff.
And this page is like the low voltage, it's like the fire alarm, the PA and sound, the.
Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, I think every room will have a carbon monoxide detector in it. We're getting a price on what we talked about for all the exterior doors, to where in the office they'll be able to tell if the door's closed. We'll actually, if the door's left open, I guess it'll be that.
Shiny.
Well, Peyton's pretty good. He's picking that stuff up. Is anything we missed on the low voltage?
There's the door status lights we were talking about. There's a 4-button panel that's going on the wall. In each classroom, it'll have a call button, it'll have an emergency button, lockdown, and then the fourth
Status.
and then the fourth one is just the status, you have to check in. So that will correspond to a light outside each classroom that says, okay, there's a problem in this classroom or there's not. We're really trying to go all out as far as the sort of communication stuff goes and our alarm system. So we work with a really guy in KB4 to try to put that in for y'all.
So say with all these grass fires, say that our power gets shut off in town, how will all this be affected? Will the whole building just be off? And will those systems still work?
It says battery backup, but at least start the fire alarm.
It'll have battery backup for sure.
I mean, with no power, you have to send the kids home, but I think that's gonna be an ongoing problem.
I think power goes off for 4 hours, I think. The thing will shut down.
And it does include an updated fire alarm system too.
That would be cool.
Okay, I think that is
Yep.
pretty much the construction plans that we're going to put out, start pricing this week. Any questions?
What are your prices doing?
Well, we have got prices like on the doors and hardware for phase one. And they're kind of right, the doors and hardware, they're kind of right in where we thought they would be. We priced the flooring, and it's under our estimate for the flooring at this time. And we priced the
Wall panels.
the wall panels, and they're, I'd say 10% or so under what we had estimated. And let's see, something else. So initially, I'm feeling hopeful.
Millwork as well.
The millwork, we've actually priced out millwork.
We started estimating this at almost the wrong moment. So, I mean, because nobody knew what costs were.
Yeah, because I think our estimate on the millwork was, probably in the 300, just for this phase was about, 360. And I think right now it's about 17, you know, it's been 17 things. Do what?
So keep it up.
Well, we have some options you could choose from, we could get over that.
Don't bring us more, don't bring me more expensive things. Don't do it, don't do it.
So, but, so I get, you know, so I'm hopeful that, you know, that price is coming in. You know, I'm always hopeful the price will be less than what we estimated. I'm always that way, but.
Hopeful, but don't plan on
It
it.
seems like just, it seems,
What,
okay.
and what percent of the budget is reserved for furniture afterwards?
I would have to look that up, I didn't
Ish.
bring that. I know the overall furniture for the high school and the elementary was 675,000. I just don't know what the breakout was for over here.
And we think that'll cover it?
I would think.
I don't know if we even gotten that far.
I would think it would be, I would think it would be somewhere between around 250, you know, 250,000 for over here or something. Would be my guess. Because I would there's about maybe 2/3 of it or so.
We'll make sure you can furnish it when we're done. I didn't know what that ran. That's not. No, sauna?
Where y'all wanna get that, and how you wanna go about doing that.
Yeah. But there's, yeah. Massaging chairs.
Well, thank y'all.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Got a couple of business items we need to take care of before we adjourn for the evening. First thing on the consent agenda, I think everyone has, or do I have the only copy of the election
I
results?
got one.
Everyone have a copies? Okay. Results of the election, all the detail, absentee ballots, dates, early, provisional, mail-in, election day, everything going across there. What we would need on this is a motion to accept the election results as presented.
Motion to accept is presented.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to accept the election results as presented. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, can I take a point of order?
Motion isn't carried yet. Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because of the election results, it does mean we have to say goodbye to one of our members of our team who has served us for 3 years. We do have a small gift to present to him, if I can tonight.
We can, but can I finish my sentence?
Yes, I'm sorry.
7-0. Okay.
It was hurting him.
I already had written it down.
Physically hurting him.
3 years of service, excellent service on the board. We greatly appreciate you.
That's absolutely. Couple of things on discussion or action items. First thing, consideration of possible approval to authorize the superintendent to issue contracts to professional staff from May 8 to August 31. Mr. Brown?
The reason I'm bringing this to you guys, under a policy, you are the ones that issue contracts, and I think that's a good thing. We are in a teacher shortage, and when it comes to the summertime, if there are openings that come up and we have to hire, oftentimes it's to our advantage if we can issue a contract quickly. When the board has to post a meeting for 72 hours and wait and vote on the contract, it creates a delay. And I'm fine with that delay, but if we could speed up that process, we could have their names on contracts a little quicker, and that just helps them feel more secure that they have a job. It helps us feel more secure that they're going to be coming. And so I'm recommending this tonight. It's a temporary authority. I will continue to inform you and talk with you about the candidates before I recommend, so that you're aware of them. This does not apply to the future hiring of our AD and head football coach. That will still come to you. But I would just recommend this in order to speed up the process in the summer. It also keeps us from having numerous meetings just to get people hired.
How many open job openings do we have right now?
see, possibly one. I think we've got about 4, 5, probably including the AD head football coach.
And what's the definition of the word temporary?
That was my question.
May 8th to August
May 8th,
31.
August 31st, and then it goes back.
Okay. it goes
Okay.
back. Okay, thank you.
And if there is a hire that really does need to come to you, I'll always bring that to you guys.
And that, they talked about this at the job fairs I went to, that there were superintendents there that were able to do this. So it was an advantage to those schools that could offer a graduate a job like there.
So I'll make a motion to give him that authority. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve, to authorize the superintendent to issue contracts, professional staff from May 8 to August 31 of 2024. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Last item, consideration and approval of an man, I cannot talk this evening, of an interlocal agreement with the TIPS Purchasing Cooperative.
Okay, TIPS is a purchasing cooperative, and as you guys know, we're members of several of them. Purchasing cooperatives help us by giving us better prices. They pre-bid items, in other words, they go through a governmental process to assure the government that they're not going to gouge or take items beyond what their market rate is. They kind of verify to governmental agencies that they're going to price competitively. When you join those cooperatives, an advantage is that you can purchase from the cooperative or from companies that are part of that cooperative because they've made those agreements. You don't have to go through the whole bidding process by doing that. So it will speed up some of our purchasing because all of the traps and the requirements have been taken care of beforehand. The reason I'm bringing this to you, this is not one we've been a part of. There is no cost to be a part of this. It's one of many that we could be a part of. But there is a company that sells buses that is a part of this cooperative, and I think it's an advantage for us to join this. We have currently been looking at a bus that it was part of a lease agreement and has been returned, and looks to be, it's very similar in style and model to our current activity buses that we have. It's got 14,000 miles on it. It would come with a warranty to make sure that the mechanics of the bus would run for, I believe, is that 3 years, Dent?
3 years, 75,000.
Yeah, 3 years or 75,000 miles. And it's about $100,000 less than a brand new bus. So 14,000 miles, $100,000. If we join this cooperative, Dent and I are going to explore, we're probably going to take a look at this, and if it looks, we're probably going to send him up, maybe Jeff as well, to take a look at it, look at the mechanics of it, make sure this is something we might pursue, and if it is something we might pursue, we intend on proposing to you guys the possibility that this might be a bus that we would purchase to replace one of our activity buses. So that's the reason that we are bringing the cooperative, the resolution to join a cooperative to you tonight, because of this possibility. And Dent is here tonight to answer if you have questions about the cooperative, or have questions about that bus. I'm not sure how much we can talk about in session. This is not a decision-making time for the bus. It's mainly just bringing this cooperative to you so that we can even begin to investigate it.
That's me about the extent of our discussion, is going to be to join the cooperative, and then any details on the bus would come at a subsequent meeting.
Yes.
Is there a fuse on the bus decision? I would like to look at local tax revenue estimates before we get too far down the road here.
Which we should have initial here within 10 days, maybe?
Yeah, I think
We've
so.
gotten our preliminary estimates, haven't we, Ms. Moraz? Yeah, we've
Okay.
got preliminary
I was
estimates.
thinking it was mid-May, but
Yeah, we just got those recently.
so that certainly needs to be part of a discussion when we come back and
Yes.
talk about what we find out.
Yes.
Since this is from a different region of the state, do they, if you buy those buses, can they be serviced locally? Okay,
Yeah, it's, as far as model, it's very similar to what we have,
okay,
just a newer model.
just a newer one.
And zero cost to join.
Zero cost to join.
Okay.
Is there anything else I've left out, Ms. Morales?
Chair would entertain a motion if the board is so inclined. Moved and seconded to approve joining an interlocal agreement with the TIPS Purchasing Cooperative. We have an agreement here in front of us. Any additional discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. I got 7-0 all the way out. Seeing nothing else on the agenda, other than a word from my end, thank you, Chris, for your service. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure serving with you.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Meeting's adjourned.